Genoa City has survived hostile takeovers, family betrayals, secret affairs, and revenge schemes, but nothing stays buried forever on the young and the restless. This time, Adam Newman and Kyle Abbott find themselves moving toward the same dangerous collision from completely different directions. Adam believes someone has crossed a line that can no longer be ignored, while Kyle is convinced he can keep pushing the boundaries without paying the price. By the time their choices bring them face to face, one impulsive confrontation threatens to ignite another Newman-Abbott war, and the people closest to them may be forced to choose sides. The trouble begins at Newman Enterprises, where Adam walks into the office already carrying the weight of several tense days. Something has been bothering him, and although he has tried to keep his suspicions under control, every new detail seems to confirm that Kyle has been interfering in matters that Adam considers strictly Newman business. Adam knows Kyle is ambitious. He knows Kyle has spent years trying to prove that he deserves to stand beside Jack rather than permanently in his shadow. But ambition is one thing. Challenging Adam personally is another. Adam drops a folder onto his desk and stares at the information inside. The evidence isn't enough to prove a grand conspiracy, but it tells him one thing clearly. Kyle has been asking questions he shouldn't be asking. And Adam wants to know why. Victoria enters and immediately notices his mood. "Whatever you're thinking," she warns, "don't." Adam looks up slowly. "You don't even know what I'm thinking." "I know you." Adam almost smiles. That sounds like a compliment. It isn't. Victoria asks what happened, and Adam shows her part of what he discovered. Kyle has apparently been making inquiries connected to Newman business, while also maneuvering around Jabot. Victoria doesn't immediately see it as an attack. Kyle could simply be protecting Abbott interests. Adam doesn't buy that explanation. Kyle doesn't do anything without wanting something. Victoria reminds him that the exact same accusation could be made about Adam. That hits a nerve. Adam closes the folder. "This isn't about me. With you, it usually becomes about you." Before Adam can respond, Victoria tells him not to turn a business dispute into another personal war. Victor has enough problems without discovering that Adam has started a fight with Jack Abbott's son. But Adam's expression changes when Victoria mentions Victor. Because Adam isn't only angry for himself. He believes Kyle may be positioning himself to embarrass the entire Newman family. Across town, Kyle is sitting at Society, looking far calmer than he should. He has convinced himself that he understands Adam. Adam gets angry, makes threats, and tries to frighten people into backing down. Kyle has watched that pattern for years. But Kyle doesn't intend to back down. Jack arrives and notices the confidence on his son's face. "What did you do?" Kyle laughs. "Why does everyone assume I've done something?" "Experience." Kyle tells Jack that he's simply protecting Jabot. Certain Newman moves have made him suspicious, and he refuses to wait until Victor or Adam gets the upper hand before reacting. Jack's expression becomes serious. There's protecting Jabot, and then there's provoking Adam Newman. Kyle insists he isn't afraid of Adam. Jack doesn't look impressed. That isn't the point. Kyle leans forward. Maybe everyone gives Adam too much power because they're always worried about what he'll do next. And maybe, Jack answers, people are cautious because they remember what happens when Adam feels cornered. Kyle argues that Adam doesn't own Genoa City and that the Abbotts don't have to ask Newman's permission before making decisions. Jack agrees, but he warns Kyle not to confuse courage with recklessness. Kyle hears the warning. He simply doesn't accept it. That evening, Adam learns something that pushes him even closer to the edge. A Newman contact tells him Kyle recently met with someone who has access to sensitive corporate information. The meeting may have been innocent, but Adam doesn't believe in coincidences anymore. He calls Kyle. Kyle sees Adam's name on his phone and ignores the call. Adam calls again. Kyle declines it. Then a message appears. "We need to talk. Now." Kyle reads it and smiles. Instead of responding, he puts his phone away. That decision turns out to be a mistake. The following morning, Kyle arrives at Jabot expecting another ordinary day. He barely makes it through the doors before Adam appears. Kyle stops. "What are you doing here?" Adam's voice is controlled. "Giving you the opportunity you apparently didn't want to give me yesterday." Kyle glances around. "You came all the way over here because I didn't answer your phone call?" I came because you're playing a game with my family. Kyle laughs. You Newmans really do think everything is about you. Adam steps closer. Who did you meet? Kyle's expression changes slightly. I meet a lot of people. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Kyle refuses to explain himself. Adam tells him to stay out of Newman affairs. Kyle responds that Adam should worry about his own problems instead of trying to intimidate him. The argument grows louder. Employees begin noticing. Kyle realizes Adam hates being dismissed, so instead of calming things down, he pushes harder. What's wrong, Adam? Worried somebody finally figured out how you operate? Adam's jaw tightens. Kyle sees the reaction and continues. You threaten people. You manipulate them. And then when someone refuses to be afraid, you lose control. Adam steps closer. Careful. Kyle doesn't move. Or what? 2 words. That's all it takes. Adam grabs Kyle by the front of his jacket and shoves him backward. Kyle slams against the edge of a desk. For one frozen second, neither man moves. Then Kyle shoves Adam back. What the hell is wrong with you? Adam comes forward again, furious, and the confrontation explodes. Jack rushes from his office after hearing the commotion. By the time he reaches them, Adam and Kyle are struggling, and Jack immediately gets between them. Enough. Adam points toward Kyle. Tell your son to stay away from my family. Jack turns toward Adam. You came into my company and attacked my son. He asked for it. No. Jack fires back. You chose it. Kyle straightens his jacket, breathing heavily. Adam looks ready to continue. Jack warns him to leave before security removes him. Adam looks at Kyle one final time. This isn't finished. Kyle wipes the corner of his mouth and responds quietly. I hope not. Adam leaves. Jack immediately turns on Kyle. What were you thinking? Kyle looks shocked. Me? He attacked me. And you deliberately pushed every button he has. That doesn't excuse him.
No.
It doesn't. But don't pretend you didn't want a reaction. Kyle denies it, but Jack knows his son too well. Kyle wanted Adam angry. He simply hadn't expected Adam to become physical. Jack tells him this is exactly what he meant when he warned Kyle about tempting fate. Kyle's confidence begins to crack, but only slightly. He still believes Adam is the one who made the biggest mistake. And technically, he may be right. News of the confrontation spreads quickly. By afternoon, Victor knows. Adam is summoned to Newman Enterprises. Victor stands behind his desk, visibly furious. You attacked Kyle Abbott at Jabot? Adam immediately tries to explain. Victor raises his hand. I asked you a question. Yes. Victor shakes his head. Foolish. Adam tells his father Kyle has been interfering with Newman business and deliberately provoking him. Victor doesn't care. You allowed an Abbott to control your emotions. Adam hates hearing that. I was defending this family. You were defending your pride. The words land hard. Adam argues that Kyle is up to something and that ignoring him would only encourage him. Victor tells Adam that if Kyle is plotting against Newman, then they deal with him strategically. We don't storm into Jabot and hand Jack Abbott a weapon. Adam knows Victor is right, but anger still controls him. Then Victor gives him an even more disturbing warning. If Kyle wanted you to attack him, ask yourself why. Adam goes silent. For the first time, he considers the possibility that Kyle's behavior wasn't merely arrogance. What if Kyle deliberately wanted witnesses? What if Adam has just fallen into a trap? Meanwhile, Jack is asking Kyle a similar question. Tell me everything. I already did.
No.
You told me what happened. I want to know what led to it. Kyle finally admits that he has been investigating certain Newman moves. Jack's frustration grows. Without telling me? I didn't need permission. If you're using Jabot resources, you absolutely do. Kyle says he's trying to protect the company. Jack asks from what? Kyle hesitates. That hesitation tells Jack there is more to the story. Kyle finally reveals that he suspects Adam is involved in a strategy that could damage Jabot. He hasn't proved it yet, but he believes he is close. Jack tells him suspicion doesn't justify provoking Adam. Kyle responds that Adam's attack proved exactly what kind of man he is. Jack studies him. You wanted him angry. I wanted the truth. You wanted leverage. Kyle says nothing. Jack realizes Kyle may have allowed the confrontation to escalate because he knew Adam's temper could become useful. That's when Jack becomes genuinely worried. You think you won today? Kyle looks at him. Didn't I?
No.
You tempted fate, son. And fate has a nasty way of collecting. Later, Diane learns what happened and immediately fears the consequences. She isn't defending Adam, but she understands how quickly Newman Abbott hostility can spiral. Kyle insists everyone is overreacting. Diane disagrees. Adam doesn't forget humiliation. Neither do I. That is exactly what scares me. Kyle assures her he can handle Adam. Diane reminds him that this isn't only about Adam anymore. Victor will protect his son. Jack will protect Kyle. Suddenly, one confrontation between two men could become a battle involving two entire families. Kyle still refuses to retreat. At Crimson Lights, Adam unexpectedly runs into Sally. She takes one look at him. What happened? Nothing. Your definition of nothing usually requires legal representation. Adam almost laughs, but his mood is too dark. Eventually, he admits he confronted Kyle. Sally asks if things became physical. Adam's silence gives her the answer. Adam. He provoked me. And you gave him exactly what he wanted. Adam looks at her sharply. Sally explains that Kyle isn't stupid. If he kept pushing after Adam warned him, maybe he wanted Adam to lose control. Adam remembers Victor saying the same thing. Now he's furious for a different reason. Not because Kyle challenged him, because Kyle may have played him. That evening, Adam sits alone and begins examining every detail of Kyle's recent actions. The meeting, the unanswered calls, the comments at Jabot, the witnesses. Slowly, a pattern emerges. Kyle wasn't hiding. He was making sure Adam noticed him. Adam's anger turns cold. And cold Adam is far more dangerous than furious Adam. He makes one phone call. I need everything on Kyle Abbott's recent business activity. Meetings, calls, transactions. Everything. The person on the other end apparently asks why. Adam looks out the window. Because I'm done reacting. At the Abbott mansion, Kyle receives an unexpected message of his own. It contains only a few words. He took the bait. Kyle stares at the screen. Someone has been helping him. But before he can reply, Jack walks into the room. Kyle quickly locks his phone. Jack notices. Who was that? No one. Jack's eyes narrow. Kyle, if there's something else happening, tell me now. Kyle insists everything is under control. Jack gives him a disappointed look. Those words have started more disasters in this family than I can count. Kyle promises that he isn't putting Jabot at risk. But once Jack leaves, Kyle looks at the message again. For the first time, Kyle appears uncertain. Because whoever sent it knows exactly what happened between him and Adam. And Kyle may no longer be the person controlling the game. The next morning, Victor receives confidential information suggesting someone has been quietly trying to create conflict between Newman Enterprises and Jabot. Victor studies the report before calling Adam. Adam arrives expecting another lecture. Instead, Victor hands him the document. Adam reads it. His expression changes. This isn't Kyle. Perhaps not entirely, Victor says. Someone appears to be using both Adam and Kyle. Adam asks who. Victor doesn't know yet, but he intends to find out. Meanwhile, Kyle discovers that one of the contacts he trusted has disappeared. Calls go unanswered. Messages aren't returned. Kyle's confidence evaporates. He searches his emails and realizes several documents have been removed from a shared system. That's impossible, unless someone else had access. Kyle immediately calls the person who sent the mysterious message. No answer. He tries again. Nothing. Then Adam arrives. This time, he doesn't yell. He doesn't threaten. He simply walks into the room and closes the door behind him. Kyle looks at him cautiously. If you're here for round 2, relax. Adam places a document on the desk. Kyle reads it. His face changes. Adam watches carefully. You've seen something like that before. Kyle denies it. Adam doesn't believe him. You thought you were setting a trap for me. Kyle says nothing. But someone was setting one for both of us. That gets Kyle's attention. Adam explains that information has been deliberately leaked in ways designed to make Newman suspicious of Jabot and Jabot suspicious of Newman. Kyle finally admits he had a source. Adam asks for the name. Kyle refuses. Adam laughs bitterly. You still don't get it. Get what? You're not protecting your source. Your source is protecting themselves from you. Kyle realizes Adam may be right. Before either man can continue, Jack enters. Seeing Adam in the room immediately puts him on edge. I thought I told you to stay away from my son. Adam turns. You might want to hear this. Jack listens as Kyle reluctantly explains the situation. His anger shifts from Adam to Kyle. You are working with an unknown source? I thought I knew who I was dealing with. That sentence isn't reassuring. Adam says the mysterious player clearly wants the Abbotts and Newmans fighting. Jack asks why. Adam answers simply, because while we're fighting each other, we're not watching them. For once, Adam Newman and Jack Abbott agree. That may be the most frightening development of all. Victor soon arrives, making the atmosphere even more uncomfortable. Jack and Victor immediately exchange suspicious looks. Victor asks Kyle who gave him the information. Kyle refuses again. Victor steps closer. Young man, your foolish pride has already caused enough trouble. Kyle fires back that Adam was the one who attacked him. Victor doesn't defend Adam's actions. Instead, he says something Kyle doesn't expect. My son made a mistake. Don't make a larger one. Kyle looks toward Jack. Jack nods. Tell them. Kyle finally gives them a name. Silence fills the room. Adam recognizes it. So does Victor. Jack notices their reaction. Who is it? Victor's face hardens. Someone who should not be in Genoa City. Before Victor can explain further, Kyle's phone rings. Unknown number. Everyone looks at it. Kyle answers. Hello. Nothing. Then a distorted voice says, You should have kept your mouth shut. The call ends. Kyle stares at the phone. Adam immediately takes it from him and checks the number. Blocked. Jack's concern becomes fear. This has gone beyond business. Victor agrees. And now Kyle finally understands what Jack meant. He tempted fate. And fate answered. But Adam isn't finished either. Instead of backing away, the threat makes him more determined. If they wanted us scared, they made a mistake. Jack looks at him. Don't start. Adam's eyes remain fixed on Kyle's phone. They manipulated Kyle. They manipulated me. They wanted us tearing each other apart. Kyle asks what Adam intends to do. Adam gives him a cold smile. Exactly what they don't expect. For the first time since their confrontation, Kyle and Adam aren't standing on opposite sides.